Hello everyone, Luke here, and yep, all three of my books are out. All three parts of the Quentin series slash trilogy slash whatever you want to call it. One for me, right one for me, and the only one for me. Yep, finally finished it. Finally finished that book series. Now, bit emotional about it as well. The fact that putting those characters to bed, letting them go off, do their own thing, live their lives in that world, and moving on to other things. Yeah, so still gonna keep writing books. That's just because I finished one trilogy doesn't mean I won't have any other ideas. In fact, I have so many ideas. Like the one for the fifth book, I've had down for almost a decade, almost as long as I've been with this series. But yeah, so the series is out. The link to the actual paperbacks will be in the description. But for now, I don't know why I turned around. I haven't got a Mission Yozakura family poster. But for now, let's just talk about the chapter. Okay, so this will be chapter 132, titled Chase. It's about a chase. What more do you want? It does exactly what it says on the tin. Well, not exactly, because it's only the beginning of the chase, but anyway, it picks up exactly from the end of the last chapter where we have Me declaring like, oh, we'll fight you, father, in order to protect the family. And I love the fact that Me now has like taken the initiative of like, yes, I am the head of this family. I control this family. So whatever I say goes. And she really does take it. She really does take in that initiative in this chapter of just commanding everyone. Because she hasn't really done that in like up until this point. But now it seems like no, she really is taking that initiative of like, yes, you're going to be doing this and we're going to be doing our thing, as we'll soon see. So we have them all basically staring down Momo after he basically obliterated everyone in that restaurant minus his family, and we just see him shaking his hands profusely as everyone is just like, okay, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna respond to these demands, Momo? And he responds in the only way he knows how, by bashing his head in with his hand. So he's like, I'm just gonna put my phone down for a second. So he's basically like that, and then just goes like such force that it actually causes him to bleed and break his glasses. As Tayo mutes me, are just like there, like, okay, I knew you were crazy, but yeah, this is getting a little bit too crazy, father. It does seem like Momo may actually have a split personality. Like, I feel like that's what Goderia Sensei is going for. Like, Momo has a split personality. It's like, how dare you? I thought I told you to come alone. No. I'm sorry, I got annoyed that you two didn't come alone. I should be delighted. I get to see everyone. So it's like he kind of has a split personality. Maybe he has Tsubumi inside him, just being like, no, Momo, it's okay. They're all together, so this is perfect for us. And he's like, okay, Tsubumi. So that might be the case of what we're actually going for here with Momo. So Momo continues on and says, today was fun. Here, keep the change. Think of it as allowance. Not that there is any service left to take the bill. Yeah, I'm not blooming surprised, Momo, considering what you've done. And I've just loved Momo in these chapters. He's had all sorts of emotions going all over the place that you don't really know exactly half the time what he's thinking, which makes him even more terrifying if you really think about it. Like the fact that you have no idea what he's thinking and he could basically turn on the whim of the die. That makes him like, okay, yeah, you got to be a bit wary of this guy because he is capable of anything. Which makes him one of the more unique villains that we've got in Jump at the moment. The fact that we have no idea what he's thinking, and anything could set him off, and he might actually have a split personality. But he and made even more better when he's like, wait a minute, please, I'd like to chew on the ice. Yeah, Momo, you don't get the privilege of chewing on the ice. Now, I know some people might find that a bit cringy, but hey, I chew on the ice. I chew on the ice. I don't care. Well, although I can understand why people would think that, but hey, it's a sensation. Some people like it. So I guess to each his own. But Creature is just like, yeah, you think you could just stroll in, talk about your plans, kill all these people in this restaurant, and then just waltz out like it's nothing. Like, you think we're not actually going to try anything here, Father, and you think you can actually escape us, and this is um, and bleh. Momo is just like, again, just cool as a cucumber, just like, hey, indeed you are correct, my son. It would be rather difficult to get through your formation. That is, if I was alone. Which makes sense. It makes sense that Momo would be like, yeah, I'm gonna meet Mutsumi and Tayo, and it's very likely he probably expected the others to show up. Let's be honest. He's acting like, I thought I told you never to come alone, but he's probably like, yeah, if they're showing up, it's obvious the others are gonna show up, and this is perfect. It means I can relieve my secret now. As he's like, as we see him just like smirking, but just giving like the most creepiest smirk ever. Just like, yeah, if I was alone, I wouldn't be able to break your formation, but who says I came alone, Koichi? And this is where Ty's like, oh no, this is bad, as we see him like Ryo, as we see Tayo like right away, like quick reflexes, get me and mutes me out from this table as he does that, but Momo's just calm, casually, but super creepy, like, no need to be shy, as we see this big blob of master again, just keeping with the Yozakura family. I love the fact that no matter what, the author Gondera Sensei has just kept with this theme of just like the Yozakura family is like a plant, so we're just gonna run with that. As we see just this enormous blob plant like fine creature. I mean, seriously guys, if we can, seriously guys, what the hell is that? What the hell is that thing? Like, seriously, what is that? It's something that's so hard to describe. But it kind of reminds me of kind of like Pineda from Bleach, how it's just speaking in gargle, kind of like Pineda. And Pineda was like a giant hand, and this is kind of like a giant plant, but it had one eye, and similar with the plant thing here, whatever it is. And Momo says, "Meet my younger brother. I'm sure you'll get along fabulously." Okay, guys, I need to do it. I called it. Okay, what did I call? Well, people have been saying like, oh, Mission Yozakura might be entering its final arc. Some people on the Control Chaos server, and I kept saying like, well, one thing we need to find out is about the aunts and uncles of the Yozakura family. Well, we're finally getting into that. Although that might be a bit of problematic, because it might mean, oh crap, we might actually be entering the final arc soon, and then we think, oh my god. But no, seriously, this is something that I've been wanting to know for ages, because it just seems so strange that we've got 132 chapters, no mention of aunts and uncles, like not even of casual conversation. Like, Tayo could have just been like to mute me in just one of the slice of life traps, like, hey, you have did your mother have any siblings, or did your father have any siblings? Like, we could have gotten a mention like that, like just a casual offhanded message. But seriously, now, in terms of whether or not this is actually Momo's brother, or it's kind of like what Tayo fused the Yozakura family as. Like, yeah, when he in the first chapter, when he called Koricho Big Brother, it could mean that like this is actually Ree's brother, who Momo also views as a brother, so brother-in-law. But either way, it seems like we are actually moving into the aunts and uncles of the Yozakura family, which is something that I've wanted to know for ages. And also, I want to know like the great aunts. I want to know the entire history of this family, like who the extended family members are, if they have any cousins, if that's the like I said, because that's a theory that I've had for a while. Like the other siblings of the Yozakura family, only the head can have children, and maybe some of like say the aunts and uncles wanted to have children themselves, but they couldn't, and they're resentful of that, so they're trying to take down the head. That's a theory that I've had for a little while. So it might actually be the case that might actually come into fruition. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But Shion expresses my fear about my dismay about this. Like Shion and Futaba, like it's very rare for Futaba to be like, this isn't normal, and yeah, she's giving off that face right there. But she was like, what is that thing? And yeah, perfect expression for the audience. It's like, what the hell is this enormous plant Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors type thing like? And of course, because everyone is distracted by the giant, enormous plant-like creature, Mo was like, oh, okay, this is my chance to get away again. Like, he's basically going to be like, just like the guy who's like, oh, almost capturing him, but he's always getting away. That's something that Momo's always going to be like from now on, I bet. And Creature's like, oh, you won't get away from us. But as he goes to chase after Momo, we see like the brother plant thing just trying to get in Creature's way, and this is something that actually alerts Creature, so it's like not it's very rare for Creature to actually be caught off guard. Like he didn't expect this thing to actually move or be, or I don't know what he was like, but he's kind of alerted now, which again, like I said, it's very rare for Creature to be like that. But as he's like, oh, what do I do in this situation? We see Futaba just come in and just use her abilities, use her martial arts abilities to blast the creature across the diner, and she's just like, go, and Creature's like, Roger. So again, love the fact that we got that character development of Creature, because now he's being like, okay, yeah, my siblings can take care of this giant enormous blob. I'm the one who's going to go after Dad. So yeah, I can leave it in their capable hands. They don't need my help, and I trust them. So I like that. I like that. Just like that little moment there where it's like, yeah, they believe in each other even though they've had their differences in the past. So yeah, nice touch there. And we see Futaba again using her like tornado martial arts abilities, just again blast at this thing, like just get down, just stay down. And Mitsubi's like, okay, Tayo, you go with Creature, which makes sense. I mean, they obviously went after the previous big bad together, so now they're going after the new big bad together. And Creature's just like, oh, why are you saying that, Mitsumi? Do I have to work with Tayo again? And she's like, I don't want him disappearing on us again. Watch over him, okay? Obviously referring to Creature. It's like, yeah, Creature, you're not going to disappear on us now. You're going to have Tayo here, and he has main character powers. So if anything happens to you, you will be all right because you have him there. And Creature's like, oh, Mitsumi, wait, you really don't need to. Probably think like, crap, I have to deal with Tayo again on my own. Like, I have to be nice to Tayo. That's probably what's going through his mind now. But Tayo's just like, okay, got it, honey. And Creature's like on one panel, he's just like got that face of just like, oh, just like, fine, but don't talk. Hold still. While I ditch you, because Mitsui says that's an order, and he's just like, what? And he's just like, Mitsumi. He's probably thinking, Mitsumi, sometimes I hate that you're the head of the Yozakura family, considering the fact you're married to Tayo, and you're telling me to do this. That's probably what Kiricho is thinking right now. But he's like, fine, but don't talk. Hold still while I ditch you. So he's probably like, fine, I'll work with you, but I'm still going to ditch you, Tayo, either way. Before we cut back to them just dealing with this plant amorphous blob-like thing, as Futaba goes, my attack's connected but hardly had any effect. This thing is tough, so we know kind of like it's resistant. So like I guess physical attacks can't work against it, because Futaba's more of a physical kinetic energy. So I guess kinetic physical energy can't work. So they have to get more creative of how to actually deal with this enormous blob that's in their way. So as the siblings stare down the giant amorphous plant blob, we see just energy just perpetuate from it, as we see Fines just get on all the corpses of everyone in the restaurant and starts draining them. Okay, my god. When I saw this, I was like, man, I thought Yozakura couldn't get any more dark. And it's literally pumping out the very essence fluids of everyone. So like their bodies just like become like just like this mangled jelly skin puppet thing, kind of like I've never watched Dragon Ball, but I know the scene where Cell does that where he put where I think he puts his tail into someone and just sucks their very essence out, kind of similar to what's happening here. So yeah, you think Mission Yozakura is not dark when it has a scene like that. And yeah, Shion goes on, and keep in mind there is a child there, so this thing is doing it to a child as well. Shion says, "Oh, it's growing. It's using those people as fertilizer." As we see it just like erupt out of the diner. Yeah, it's basically turning into Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, where it's just like engulfing the entire diner, and just again gargling, which means I feel like it's going to be similar to Panida from Bleach, where Panida was gargling, and then throughout the battle it kind of grow more in intelligence based on how much fertilizer it actually had. Well, Panida was gargling first, and then more and more throughout the battle it got much more intelligent, to the point that it could actually do human speech. I feel like the plant's going to do something here where the fertilizer is going to grow. The more it grows, the more intelligent it becomes, so that it gets more speech coming out of it. Before we just see it just like erupt and just like explode the diner around it. Like it's just gotten so big that it just basically explodes it all out. And Futaba is like, and it turns into a sort of like plant dog Goliath thing. I mean, seriously, what is that? Oh my god. Seriously, I have no idea what this thing actually is. But Futaba's like, okay, Shion, do your analysis. What the hell is this thing? And Shion says, oh, collecting the remaining corpses, the spy associations evaluating the surrounding area. We have one target. Its traits are as followed: enlargement, absorption, and high resilience. Yeah, we already know that. But seriously, we want to know, what is it? Like, what is this thing? She continues on and says, fast option is to destroy it, then rendezvous with Tayo and Koichiro. And they're like, okay, that is perfect. But seriously, we need to know what this thing actually is. Like, where did it come from? Momo says that it's his brother, but what's that all about? Like, that just this whole chapter is just raising further questions like, what does it? Is this part of Subumi's plan? Is this part of Ri's plan? Is this part of Kai's plan? Like, whose plan is this part of? So yeah, just a whole bunch of questions that's going through my mind right now based on this one chapter on what this Goliath monstrosity actually is. So everyone turns to Mutsumi and is like, okay, Mutsumi, what are your orders? And Mutsumi says, right, we can't let father have his way. He will be stopped. Yeah, but when that happens, we don't know. But to do that, I want you to subdue the enemy in front of us as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And everyone's like, okay, got it. And that's where the chapter is, with the thing just gargling again. Now, it seems like we're gonna get just the rest of this chapter just focusing the next chapter is focusing on the battle between this like plant Goliath thing, but we all know that it's very resilient. It's very resilient, and it can absorb to get fertilizer to grow even bigger. So they're gonna have to be extremely careful of that. Its downfall might be that it goes after Nano. It kind of the same thing that what happened to Pineda. How Pineda constantly went after. How Pineda was facing Mayuri, and Mayuri used drugs to kind of get rid of it. That's probably what's going to happen here. Like, it's going to try and attack Nano. Nano's going to use his regen. What was Nano's ability? Hold on a second. Okay, so his blooming was adaptation, which basically it made an immunity substance which allowed him to adapt to any poison or environment. So that's probably what's gonna happen here. It's gonna attack everyone. They're all gonna get completely decimated and possibly attacked and try to absorb through the fertilizer as well. But when it comes to Nano, he's probably going to use his blooming to use his adaptation to kind of get immune to it and kind of develop something, and then send it right back to basically overload it and explode it. And then maybe we'll actually find out if there's actually something inside the eye thing, because it seems like there is something talking that's trying to get out, but it can't because it can only spur words. So maybe that would be something like there might actually be something inside or someone, and then maybe we'll get some explanation about what this thing actually was. So yeah, just had to remind myself what Nano's ability is, and that's probably how this fight is gonna go down, because we know that Futaba can't do anything in this fight because she's tried to attack it, and her attacks are just simply going to be reflected from this thing. We don't know how Keigo's going to fight. Shinzo might just be like, I'm going to use a gun and just blast it away, but then it'll probably cling itself back together because it is a plant. But that's just some ideas for how this fight could go down, and we'll just have to wait and see. Now, in terms of how Momo is going to be handled, I think he is actually going to escape again. He might have a confrontation with Taiyo and Creature, but eventually he is going to escape again, and maybe we'll find out. Like, oh, he's gathered all the aunts and uncles of the Yozakura family, not just his brothers and sisters, but maybe Ri's brothers and sisters as well. That's a possibility that might actually come about. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.